What is up, my otakus? My name is Anime Warlord. Welcome back to the channel, and for today's video it's going to be something a little different. This is my anime story. Now, I figured I'd do this because, you know, it's been on my mind for quite a while, and I just thought of it last night, and now, here it is. This is just basically me telling my whole entire story of, like, how I got into anime, and, like, what my history is, and plus, where I am right now. So, this is going to be a pretty long video. If you are a owner of popcorn, make yourself some popcorn right now because things are about to get interesting. This is my whole entire anime story. So, first of all, I'm going to give you a little background information about me. My real name is Alex. I live in Chicago and I am 20 years old. I've been watching anime since 2003 and I did the math. So, this year is 2017 and I've been watching anime now for about 14 years, and I gotta say, like, it feels really, really nice. Yep, 14 years of watching anime. I can't believe it. You never know what you're gonna find when you've been watching anime for about that long. You never know if you're gonna find, like, something that's awesome. You never know if you're gonna find something that's, like, absolute shit, or just something that's just completely average. So, here we go. This is my anime story. We're starting off with my childhood, how I got into it. So when I was the cute little age of 5.5 years old, I was a pretty smart kid, and I started streaming through the channels. And at first, I thought I was gonna find, like, regular everyday cartoons. But then, I came across YuGiOh, and I honestly thought it was like your regular everyday cartoons as well, like Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, or Johnny Bravo. But no. When I watched it even further and more, I just realized, whoa, this is something different. What is this? And then my dad said, out of the blue, son, that is anime. And I said, anime? Why does that name ring a bell? Oh yeah, that's right, because one of my classmates was talking about it in class. So the next day, I went to school. I was celebrating my birthday with my class, and I celebrated more on my birthday when I got home. And I told my parents that I wanted Yu-Gi-Oh cards for my birthday. And they ran to Toys R Us, and I was just over across the street at my neighbor's house swimming in her pool. I had a lot of cool gifts for my 6th birthday, but none of them compared to my first 2 starter decks. Yeah, I got 2 starter decks on my 6th birthday. I was literally hooked. And I started collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards from then on. I had starter decks Yugi, and I got starter deck Kaiba. I was one happy 6-year-old. But Yu-Gi-Oh's not the only anime that had a great impact on my childhood. Here's some other TV shows that I remember growing up watching. In the heartbreaking year of 2005, I was pretty sad because my mom and dad had this great big argument and they wound up splitting up from one another. And luckily we had a place to go, so me, my brother, and my mom stayed with our grandma. And when I lived with my grandma, here are the shows that I watched when I lived there. It's a funny thing, not too many people know about Ultimate Muscle or Spider Riders. That's funny. So I wanted to go see if I can try and find any anime on VHS. So luckily I found a store called Blockbuster Video. You can't find any more today, but I rented Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie. And when I got home to my grandma's house, I watched it and I loved it. I gave the movie a 6 out of 10, even though this movie does have some downfalls, but the rest of it is pretty damn good. As a matter of fact, I couldn't find any more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff at Blockbuster Video, so I just kept on renting Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie just to watch it over and over again. Also, back in those days, I had a Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual Disc. So whenever I would watch Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie, I would put on my Dual Disc and just, like, fanboy like hella crazy. I would even load up my deck up in there, and I would pretend that I'm a duelist dueling in Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie. It sure feels good when you have an imagination. By the time Halloween came around, I did my first anime cosplay, and my first cosplay of choice was Yugi from YuGiOh, and this is exactly what it looked like, but there was only one friggin' problem. It did not come with the Millennium Puzzle. I don't know why, but it just didn't. So at my old school, we were having like this Halloween dance party, and that's one of the things that I miss most about that place. And everybody was in costume, everybody was having a good time. And I told my friends, so you guys, what do you think of my costume? And they were all into Yu-Gi-Oh like I was, and they're like, that's awesome. But one person said out of the blue, dude, I don't know you, but no offense, but Yugi was white.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
By the time New Year came around, 2006, my mom and dad had been talking on the phone for quite a while, and they just got back together. So afterwards, I moved down to my grandmother's house, and I was just pretty happy that they got back together and just put all things aside. My younger brother was pretty happy about the news too, and when my mom and dad got back together, my dad introduced me to this anime called The Guyver. He took me and my brother out to buy video games. I found this game for the Xbox called Yu-Gi-Oh! Dawn of Destiny. As a kid, I thought these graphics were pretty awesome, but now when I look at it as an adult, these graphics are kind of shit, but the game is still pretty good. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Dawn of Destiny was not the only video game that I got when my dad took me and my younger brother out to go and buy video games. I also got another game for the Game Boy Advance called Duel Masters Senpai Legends. And I will be playing both games on my channel sometime in the near future. Now, at first, I had no idea that there were games for Yu-Gi-Oh! Or games for Duel Masters out there. Well, let's just put it this way, guys. I had no idea that there were anime video games out there in this world. Another thing that we did is we went to this video store called Disc Replay, and they were selling Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie. Luckily for me, it was their last copy. So I got it, and on the front of the DVD, it says, look for bonus card inside. And so when I got home, I accidentally dropped the card on the floor, and then when I turned the card over, it was Pyramid of Light, a card of which I still own to this day, and I was all like, I was one happy camper. I literally felt like Charlie when he got the golden ticket in the Willy Wonka movies, and oh my god, I was just so happy. I finally owned a Pyramid of Light. I was so excited that I accidentally bumped my head, and then I just felt like Mario and Donkey Kong. As I got a little older, me and a lot of kids were playing this game and watching this TV show called Bakugan. I haven't finished all of Bakugan, but I will someday. And also, when I was growing up, I got introduced to this anime called Rosario Vampire. And Rosario Vampire was honestly my first fan service-y anime. And I just asked myself, you know, there's boobs, there's panty shots. I wonder what this genre is called. And I have a friend whose name is Juan, and he's like an anime expert, and he goes to college with me, so woo, he said, Alex, this genre is called ecchi, and I said, ooh, yeah, you can call me a pervert, I don't care. By the time 2010 hit, I was 13 years old, and I was slowly losing my interest in anime. I don't know what it was, but still, I was slowly losing my interest. I guess it's because nobody suggested me anything new for a little while. I even suffered through anime withdrawals, and I was all like SpongeBob saying, I need it! By the time 2011 hit, I was 14 years old, and I was growing up pretty fast. So anyways, 90% of my interest in anime had just gone down the shitter. So I had to watch an anime like ASAP because like my interest was just draining fast. One day when I was on my bike, I accidentally ran over a box and I just broke my arm. And that made me scream in pain. And the doctor said that I just broke my radius. And that was my first broken bone. After my little trip to the hospital, I fell asleep. About a couple of hours later, I wake up. When I look at the TV, I see that my dad is watching anime, and I ask my dad, Dad, what anime is that? And then he says, son, this is Akira. And I said, can I watch this with you? Because I've heard so many good things about this anime. And he said, sure, but don't tell your mother. The reason why he said don't tell your mother, it's because, you know, I was a young teenager and I couldn't watch rated R movies back then. And throughout the whole entire movie, there were butterflies building up in my stomach. Like, seriously, it was that good. By the time the movie ended, my dad asked me, "What did you think?" I was silent for about 5 minutes and then I said, "That was amazing." When I went back to school with a broken arm, I joined my first anime club, and my junior high anime club was a lot of fun. We watched some of these shows which I'm about to list: Fooly Cooly, Murder Princess, Angel Beats made me cry like a little baby, Higurashi. We couldn't watch Demon King Daimo because it was too inappropriate. We watched Bakano. Girls Bravo I watched at home because, once again, too inappropriate. Hitman Reborn. Soul Eater. Baka and Test. Chobits. And finally, Natalia Access Powers. Pasta! By the time 2012 reached around, I was a freshman in high school and I watched these shows. Now, when I first watched Elfenly, that made my eyes pop right out of my skull. One of the best horror animes I have ever seen in my life. Now, some people think Call Me Tonight is a hentai, but I can tell you right now, it's not. I even joined Anime Club in high school, but my freshman year, it was a pretty good success. For the rest of the years, not so much. But luckily, when I quit going to the Anime Club for the rest of my 3 years, someone suggested me the Future Diary. Oh yeah, and I discovered the word otaku in my freshman year, so yin yang. Now it's time for the age-old question. Where am I now? Well, I will gladly tell you. I am a 20-year-old college student, and I still watch anime to this day. I am still a mega otaku, and I have no plans to just get rid of my anime addiction anytime soon. Because I can tell you this much, you guys, it's not gonna happen. Thanks to Akira, I now know what anime is, and also thanks to Akira, that's just pretty much what got me on the track again. So now my brain is just like filled up to the brim of like exposing myself to different kinds of anime. And another age-old question is, why do I like anime so much? That question is easy to answer. The reason why I like anime so much is because, number one, you don't know what you're going to get yourself into, and number two, I love the friendships that you can make along with this awesome community. Even though sometimes people can be assholes, but you know, you just gotta find the right crowd. And if that crowd respects you for who you are and your interests, those are gonna be your friends for life. I have friends from all over the world who love anime just as much as I do, and they're all really great people. And if you are watching this video right now, I really appreciate you guys. You guys are just so awesome and some of the best friends an otaku can ever have. Well, that's my story. I'm Anime Warlord. Thank you so much for watching. And what's your anime story? I really want to know. If this video inspires you, I want to hear your anime story too. So, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked today's video, give it a like. If you got something to say about today's video, give it a comment. Don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell because the bell never fails to tell. Alright, bye!